Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight, a November snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and, of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And a give this time to the tailback. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6 yards. And it's 3rd down.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. Ebron with it over the middle. And he is going to get the first down as he covers up after a pretty good shot there. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. On 1st and 10, Brissett. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to end up with a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
Another try after the first down sack. Brissett, and the pressure gets to him again. Danielle Hunter make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, here's Brissett. And that is incomplete. Not the opening possession they were looking for, especially on the road.
No doubt about it, because they wanted to come out and establish a little momentum right away. But now bringing up a 4th down, an empty possession, not what they were seeking.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 28-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. He'll have a first down past the 40. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. And down to the 16-yard line. That one good for 37 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
From the red zone now, Brissett going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
6-6, pull it high. Hey, Steamer, leave it, bring up 48.
To throw is Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Yo. Slam.
Cousins gives way to Cook. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Vikings 7, Colts 0.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
It's 4th down.
So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. That's complete to Jack Doyle, the tight end. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Now they have a little more space to maneuver from the 15, 1st and 10. Here's Mack. And an alley to run. There he goes left side. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there for Indy. 74 yards.
A 74-yard gain. First down, Colts.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his first touchdown on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Check pass. Check pass.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Cousins throw complete to Thielen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Bailey got the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee. As they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of sixes back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Throwing, Brissett. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Pull it together.
Following the interception, Cousins. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. A very solid gain of 27.
That's good for the Vikings. First down. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Ready!
Check 53 is mine. Bring it.
Gun. Move!
First down, here's the run with Cook. A solid move on the run, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. Down at the 2. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
You draw quarters. Hey, flipper. Good route here.
To throw, Cousins. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs in the final seconds of the first half. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
Mike 50, Mike.
Throwing, Cousins. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Jahan, what I need? 50. There's a party now.
On first down, Cook. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 50-yard line.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Cousins now from the 50. Looking deep downfield. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Past the 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. He goes 105 yards on the kick return. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Extra point splits the uprights, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the ground, it's Cook. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Let him know, let him know.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved.
Jahan, what I need?
Blue down.
Line out.
Tighten up.
Through.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. It's the sack master, Justin Houston, who comes up with it. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
80 weapons.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
3rd and long.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
25. Check 25. Check 25. Hey, pick your game up.
There.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again.
Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, 92 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and, oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friends.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot.
And he's into the clear. He's at the 50, the 30, 20, 10. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Marlon Mack, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead.
35, Colts 21.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's a give to Madison running right. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It's 4th down.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll run for it. Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, it's Cook. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one good for 33 and a first. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
And Brad, I think we have to look back at the big call to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, that set up everything, and the end result, the short touchdown run. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think every coach would have gone for it back there.
You and I both know every coach would not have gone for it back there. So that's showing a little bit of faith, actually showing a lot of faith in his team, and it was rewarded.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big time, John? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Let's go! Let's go!
So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st down, they'll stay with Mack on the ground. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 41-yard line.
Ready? 30 base.
Come on.
On 2nd down, it's Mack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Come on, set. 60 or.
Watch it. Single, slot. Hey, you're on an island.
Back to throw. Herbert. He's got the first down and more past midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down.
And the Colts first down.
Ready up.
59, Mike. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. I know he ain't got it. Mike, check.
Ready.
They'll run on first down. Mack. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 16 yards the pickup there. The Colts have a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Pick it up. Mike's 59.
Looking to throw. Herbert, he's going to let it fly. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw again. Herbert caught by Jones. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout.
It's a game of 20. First down, Colts.
He goes set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Tight end Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo.
Throwing on first down. Herbert, this is caught. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Eric Ebron, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Now the try here for the point after. And the lead will be cut down to 14.
Makes the score Vikings 42, Colts 28.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they've got this one in hand. No timeouts remaining defensively, so this one should just be one kneel and then handshakes. On first down, it's Cook. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they fall 2 games under 500 now at 3-5. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.